Good evening. Can I have a report on the sound, please? Because I've done this really randomly and quickly. I haven't done the sound check or anything, so someone just tell me if everything's sounding all right. That'd be good. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the show. It's sound is perfecto. Thank you, Miss Blue Sky. How is everyone? Yeah. Thank you. Yep. Thanks, Paula. I'll say hello to everyone in a second. Yeah, I just literally just decided to do this in the last hour because there's no Pete and Cookie show tonight. So obviously we wish Cookie well because he wasn't that well on Monday, from what I know. I don't know if Tony's got an update because Tony's got he's normally in touch with Cookie. So if there's an update, Tony, you can maybe let us know. How are you? I've prepared absolutely nothing apart from putting this t-shirt on, which is a rare thing now. Look at that. Look. Yeah. Yeah, it's a very rare thing now. Won't be. I don't know if there'll be many of these made anymore, unless we all club together and sort it. So let's have a look to see who's in the house so far. Let's have a look. Let's go to the top. Well, Tony was first in. Hello, Tony. Hello, Chris. Hello, Miss Blue Sky. Hello, Paula. Who else is here? Hello, Mick H. How are you? Kitty's in the house as well. Hello, Kitty. And Jimmy Hagan's here as well. Hi, Jimmy. How are you? Jim, can you give us an update? Any update on what's happening on the show? On raccoons? Oh, and Rich T's in as well. Hello, Rich. Rich T. Good evening to you. Yep. And Cookie's still under the weather. Not sure on Pete. Oh, Pete's always all right. He's got his pipe, hasn't he, Tony? I've got my little drinky here. What are you drinking tonight? What have you? Hi, Rick. Rick Hayward's in the house as well. What have you had for your dinner? I've just literally thrown down a burger and some salad. Because again, I was looking forward just putting my feet up and watching Pete and Cookie entertain us. So, and I don't know. Well, Spanish should be here in a minute because he was the one who encouraged me to do this as well. Because I contacted Spanish and I said, "Is Pete and Cookie doing a show tonight?" And he said, "No." So where are you, Spanish? You lazy git. He's probably in his little shed waiting. No, it wasn't a Big Mac and salad, Chris. No. It was a homemade burger. Paula's fasting. Oh, Chris has had Big Mac and salad. Miss Blue Sky says, "Get well soon, Cookie." And Chris is in sunny Germany, I believe. We've had some sun here, haven't we? Look, I'm looking a bit tandish. Yeah, I've been out in my allotment as much as I can. The reason I didn't do a show last night. If anyone doesn't know, I did post it, but I was at a meeting last night with the very important allotment association. It was their annual general meeting, and I think I was the youngest person there, but I could be wrong. I could be very wrong. Oh dear. So yeah, I've got. What I'll do is I'll just jump onto the Daily Snail and we'll look at some health stories in a minute, and I'll just talk to you randomly as well. I'm still dreaming loads. I've still got loads of dreams going on since I've given up the wicked weed. I'm still really, really dreaming loads. Someone told me that it can go on for like 2 years. When I first gave it up, my dreams were quite, I would say, alarming. Yeah, they're a bit stressful. It was a bit stressful. but they've calmed right down now. And last night I was running a pub, with one of these like meals and things. And then the second half of the evening or the night, I was going down a hill in a car or something, and it was a dodgy, snowy area. Chris is now in France. Oh, there we go. And he's off to see Dinny. It's just been announced that Tina Turner has died. Rich T's giving us a complete update there. Oh, let me have a look on the Daily Snail. Let me have a look. Hang on. This is hot off the headlines. Oh, yes. There we go. Tina Turner, dead at 83, queen of rock and roll who sold 180 million albums over a 7-decade career, dies at home in Switzerland after a long illness. I wonder what sort of illness that could have been. Oh dear! Look at that! I'll share this with you. Hang on. Let's come to the StreamYard and let's share this with you. The headline. Share screen. Okay, let's have a look. UK Daily Mail. There we go. There we are. Simply the best. Look. There we are. Tina Turner, dead at 83, queen of rock and roll, sold 180 million albums over a 7-decade career, dies at home in Switzerland after a long illness. Simply the best. I always thought she was a bit of a dodgy looking woman, but she did. That was a good film, wasn't it? And yeah, she did have a hard life with was it Ike? I think it was. The iconic singer died at her home in Switzerland today following a long illness. A statement from her representative tonight said Tina Turner, the queen of rock and roll, has died peacefully today at the age of 83 after a long illness in her home near Zurich, Switzerland. With her, the world loses a music legend and a role model. An accompanying statement on the singer's social media pages read, "It is with great sadness that we announce the passing of Tina Turner. With her music and her boundless passion for life, she enchanted millions of fans around the world and inspired the stars of tomorrow. She rose to fame as part of the Ike and Tina Turner duo in the 70s before launching a solo career that is among the most successful of any performer." There we go. Should we have a look at that story, shall we? And let's see if they've got any of her numbers written down. Oh, she was looking a bit dodgy there, wasn't she? Look at her. When was that then? It says, it doesn't say. Turner in 97. In a recent interview, she said she wanted to be remembered as the queen of rock and roll. Well, I mean, I don't know about the queen of rock and roll. In early 20th film, fame with Ike and Tina Turner review a live act with her former husband. Behind the veneer of success and marital bliss, she endured brutal abuse throughout the marriage. There we go. I thought that. They divorced in 78. Turner, determined to succeed on her own with her 4 sons, to raise stunned fans and media by speaking publicly about the abuse. In the early 80s, she was a musical powerhouse in her own right, standing shoulder to shoulder with the world's most revered rock stars. Electrifying performances with Mick Jagger, David Bowie set her success on fire, and she was quickly celebrated with awards and a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Turner won 8 Grammys from 25 nominations and 3 Lifetime Grammy Awards. Her final stadium concert was in Sheffield, funny enough, England, in 2009. In recent years, she has been memorialized by the Tina Turner musical in London's West End and across the US. There we go. Yeah, and this is a great link, actually. Turner and Mick Jagger during the 1985 Live Aid concert in Philadelphia. It was an iconic performance with palpable chemistry. Turner toured with the Rolling Stones in the late 60s. In her final interview just last month, Turner admitted that she always had a crush on him. There we go. And there she is with Bowie as well. Tina shared an equally electric onstage chemistry with David Bowie. There we go. So yeah, she was at Live Aid. Let me come back. Hang on, let me just stop sharing this. So she was at Live Aid, and I've got something to show you. Look at this. There we go. That's really, really weird, because this arrived in the post today. And I remember her being at Philadelphia, because believe it or not, yeah, I've said it before, but I was actually at Wembley for Live Aid. And this is a great book. It really is. I mean, there's the best performance ever. And it was Freddie. There we go. And it was an amazing performance. It really was. And I was meant to be at work that day. I used to sell terrible cars called Austin Rover, which was the Metro, the mini Metro, the Montego or Montego, and the Maestro, which wasn't very Maestro-esque. And yeah, I'd been to Ibiza, and I'd been on the Club 1830 holiday. Some of you may remember those. And it was about a week later, and a friend said to me, "Rob, I've got a spare ticket for Live Aid. My sister's dropped out. Do you want to go?" And I said, "Well, I'm meant to be working." I thought, "Oh, sod it. Yeah, I'll ring in sick, and I'll just hide from all the cameras." So yeah, I just rang in sick, and I hid from every camera I kept seeing. I just kept ducking my head, because I thought, and I was quite near the front because I slept out the night before on the old Wembley Stadium gates, and yeah, that was an interesting evening as well, and got quite near the front, and it was one of the hottest days of the year. It was actually Spanish, you old chicken, and yeah, it was one of the hottest days of the year. And what they were doing is in Philadelphia, they were spraying people. There we go. You can see with a fire hydrant. Okay. But in the UK, they only had like a epoxy little hose at the front. But every time you the spray went, I was just so hot. I was like, oh, gasping for air, for some water and everything. And then one day, a couple of weeks when this came out after the concert, my friend turned around to me, who I was working with. I'd left. I actually got the sack from trying to sell terrible cars, because I wasn't very good at it. And so I'm glad I got the sack, because quite honestly, would it have made much difference to me going to see that concert or not? Probably not, because I wasn't very good at selling cars. And my mate rang me up and he said, "Rob," he said, "did you go to Live Aid?" I went, "Yeah." He goes, "There's a picture of you in the official book." I went, "No." He said, "There is." Now I know, right? This is a different man I'm going to show you, right? But I can assure you, this is me. All right. And there's a girl standing, yeah, on a bloke's shoulders. And see that chap just there with his mouth open. And he's got, I know you can't see it, but he's got very bleached blonde highlighted hair in the days when I had hair. But that is actually me. There we go. I'll see if I can get a bit closer for you. There we go. Yep, with my mouth open. I was caught red-handed. So there you go. That's my claim to fame. I'm in the official Live Aid book. And I did have this book before, but my delightful ex-wife decided to keep it and not give it back to me. So I decided to locate it on eBay, and I found it and I purchased it, and it literally arrived today. So that's really weird that Tina Turner has died today, and that book arrived, and it gave me an opportunity. With your mouth open, your words. Yeah, Tony, you're right there. But yeah, it was just a really, really weird day, and who would have known that it would have turned into such an amazing concert and such an iconic event as well. That's my claim to fame, being at the one of the biggest concerts of last century. I don't know if there'll ever be another one like it. I doubt it. Music's lost its rock and roll now, hasn't it? I mean, there is no rock and roll in music. It's all so electronic now and everything. And don't get me wrong, I love electronic music. I love 80s music. I used to love all of the electronic stuff. But yeah, what was your claim to fame? What was your claim to fame? Have you got anything a similar story? Let's see what people are saying in the chat, shall we? Let's just move this over a little bit. Let's do that. There we are. Yeah, there we go. Okay, let's have a look then. So we got to Rick, we got to Paula. Told Harry the royal family not paying his security, so he's just going to get the public to pay his expenses directly. Yeah, that's probably true. Yeah, we said get well to Cookie. Tony took a gram of the RSO, Rick Simpson oil, yesterday, and today been fucking twatted. I'm not surprised, Tony. I'm really not surprised. I don't know how you do it, but it keeps you alive, mate, and that's the most important thing. Yeah, so we had Rich T do the announcement at 9:09. 2 6s backwards. 9:09. Tony says her Thunderdome had a stroke. That was good. That was quite not a bad movie, was it? Thunderdome. She was in that movie, wasn't she? Yeah, she was in that movie. Paula said private dancing for the simply the best divine. Chris said so sad. She had her whole career ahead of her. Don't be funny, Chris. Oh, all the jokes are coming out now. She had Nutbush City Limits, says Tony. Yeah, that's true, Tony. She had her hubby beat the shit out of her. I'm surprised they even show an image of her and like, yeah. Did he die? I don't know if he died or he's still in prison. I think he died actually. Yeah. Did you go? Anyone see Tina Turner? Oh, here we go. Kitty says she was my first concert I ever seen. Tina. Well, there you go. And you won't see her again. Queen of Spam, says Tony. Tony said I'd smash 1985 Tina. Tony, I'm just not sure about the whole, I don't know, sexuality thing. I could be wrong. Could be wrong. Blimey, time flies. Blimey, time flies. I've just finished watering my plants. Hi all. What time do you call this, Spanish? There's Jimmy. Jimmy's in as well. Yeah. Hi, Jimmy. Spanish is eating. He'll chat back soon. And Kendo's here. Hello, Kendo. New Being says, when I was young, there was a radio show with jokes you could send in by mail, snail mail, and they read the one I sent. I was so happy to be chosen. There you go. Nubian's claim to fame. What's your claim to fame? Kitty is that she saw her first concert was that she saw Tina Turner. That was her very first concert. I believe Kendo is going to see going to the cinema tomorrow to watch a live concert of Roger Waters. Is that right, Kendo? Where is he, Kendo? Is he in Germany or something? I don't know where he is actually. If so, why isn't Chris there going to see it? Cheers, everyone. A little drinky here. The Green King IPA is on offer in Morrison's. 99p, bargain. You got to have it, haven't you? So yeah, I've been working in the allotment. I've just been up. I'm putting in my slow water drip or kiss drip systems in, trying to get as many of those in as possible, and they seem to be working quite well. Because obviously the weather's getting starting to pick up. Believe it or not, summer is actually deciding to show up, which is great. Oh, let's take that off. Hang on, sorry, Nubian, making you famous there. Kendo says no, live from Prague. Oh, there we go. I hope you enjoy that, Kendo. You and your son, I believe. Yeah, that should be good. And yeah, so I just decided tonight to jump on and do a random live show, because I couldn't do one yesterday because I was at the very important allotment association meeting, annual general meeting, and they managed to talk me into doing some streaming. Because yeah, it's been going for about 10 years. It was good to go actually, because I learned a lot about it. I live in a small town in Bedfordshire, and yeah, they started this allotment with some donated land, and it's been going for 10 years. And apparently, it was literally just a field where they dumped right next to the doctor's surgery, which they built 10 years ago. And a lot of the rubble and everything that they used or they took away or whatever when they were building the doctor's surgery got dumped into this land. So they literally had to clear out loads of this rubble and stuff and virtually start from scratch. So they did that. And now they've got something like 25 plots or something like that on this allotment. And I've said before, it's a bit difficult to work with because they've got local bylaws, because the land is owned by a trust. And when it was set up, they set the rules that you weren't allowed any permanent structures. However, I did ask the question last night, and I said, so does that mean then you can't have any polytunnels? And they said, well, that's not a permanent structure. So I may consider trying to set up a little polytunnel there as well, because again, it's not a permanent structure. So yeah, that'd be good if I can do that. Are you doing any gardening? You've been doing any gardening? The Russell Trust. No, Chris. And how's your holiday going, Chris? Have you been jumping on the backs of any trains? Or going into any dodgy buildings? Chris is solo in Germany, and the poor bloke is going to be seeing Dinny, I believe, at the weekend. So God help him. And Dinny's not here again, or he's probably just watching in the background. I did message him tonight, and he hasn't bothered. He hasn't bothered replying. So yeah, sod him. Oh yeah, and I need to tell you that I started my tune off tonight with "Dusk Till Dawn" by Track Tribe from the YouTube selection that you're officially allowed to play. "Dusk Till Dawn" that was the tune that I started with. If anyone was wondering, I know loads of you were wondering. Not. So yeah, I didn't, like I said to you, I don't know how long I'm going to do tonight. I'm going to do. I'll have a look for some health stories. Hello, Amanda. She's had a bloody stressful day with flooring. Anyone want to buy a bloody cat? Poor thing. Dilly will be masturbating furiously over a photo of the late Queen as he shouts, "Who's my bitch?" Wait for this. Just wait 1 second. Just wait 1 second. Let me just don't forget, he's got connections. Dinny has connections. Yeah. He used to have very big connections. Yeah, absolutely. And he did have some terrible habits in the past as well. Poor bloke, yeah. As did I. For my sins, I used to carry pianos around into Top of the Pops and other BBC shows. That was my other claim to fame. Oh, let's get back to the chat. Hang on. So I'm going to. So Tina Turner's dead. Let's go back to some. Let me have a look to see if I can find. I find this a bit weird because there's this tech mogul 45 who spends 2 million trying to de-age himself. Is injected with blood of his teenage son as part of the latest attempt to dodge middle age. I think the elites and young blood have got a lot. There's a lot of rumors about that, isn't there? I mean, we can't say that it definitely happens, but Brian Johnson, a well-known eccentric tech mogul with a zeal for looking younger, has taken the drastic step of swapping blood plasma with his 70-year-old father, Richard, and 17-year-old son, Talmadge. The trio underwent the transfusions at a Dallas clinic in which the senior father and teen son have a liter of their blood removed, of their blood removed and converted via machine into its component parts fed into Mr. Johnson's veins with the goal of rejuvenating and repairing cellular damages brought on by the aging process. I'll show you this. You can see him. Look, let me just present it to you. Share screen. Look, there he is. Now, so there's a trio of them, but I can only see 2 of them. But this is just, I mean, talk about, I don't know about you, but I mean, most of us are not 21 anymore in this group, I don't think. And I think as you get older, you get to a point where you say to yourself, well, I know I'm not going to live forever. And then I think part of life is just trying to become comfortable with knowing where you've come from, where you are now, and where you're going to, and accepting and embracing the fact that it's all part of the whole life system, isn't it? It's all part of the life cycle. We've all got to, just like a plant. I mean, I'm into growing plants and things like that. But just like growing or anything like that, and just as night follows day, there's always a beginning, a middle, and an end. And I just find it a bit sad that people just are trying to fight that back. I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with someone saying, right, I want to stay as healthy as possible, for as long as possible. There's nothing wrong with that. And I'm really not into trying to grow old and be in a lot of pain, which some people do get into. And that's one of the reasons why I personally got into health, because I didn't want to get things like arthritis. My mum, God bless her, she's got terrible spondylitis, which is a curvature of the spine. and it's a really painful, condition that she has. And I mean, there could be, I suppose, a chance of me or any of my other siblings having something similar like that. But I think there's nothing wrong with trying to want to stay healthy as we get older. And I think that, you know, if you've got a healthy mind and you stay positive and you eat um, the best food you can afford, you drink the cleanest water you can afford, and you maybe supplement as much as you can. You do different things like maybe juicing, and or smoothies and things like that, and you do a bit of fasting. And there's and I mean, for example, like today, I've literally just started with um, boron. Now, I'm not going to say how I've got it, but I've basically, I'm going to start taking boron every day because I've done a lot of research, and I've read that boron is very much connected with keeping your bones strong, and also keeping away things like you know um, what my mum's got, arthritis, and other. She's got the other type of arthritis as well. Sorry, it evades my memory right this second. And so I'm going to start taking that. And what I've read was, because again, it's just my research, but remember, and let's do the legal claim here now, that yes, my name is Robert. I'm not a doctor. Um, I'm here to entertain you and to give you information and share stories with you. But anything I say is just information and fun, and for interacting with chat. So if you want some medical advice, go and see your doctor or MD. Thank you very much. So yeah, I think there's nothing wrong with trying to stay healthy and doing everything you can, but do your own research. I'm going to try taking a teaspoon of boron in a fluid form every day, and I'll let you know. I mean, I don't really get any aches and pains. I've got a little. I used to get more aches and pains, and since I've started supplementing with magnesium and putting magnesium oil on, and my salve, my CBD salve as well, it's my aches and pains are definitely a lot less. And but again, I just want to try and improve as much as I can as I get older, and that I've got the least amount of aches and pains, because I don't want to buy into the whole medical model of as you get older, you've got to take this tablet, and then this tablet might have this reaction to your body, and it might bring on this problem. And then when it brings on this problem, we might have to give you another tablet to counteract that problem. And again, so yeah, I just don't want to go down that road. I really don't. So yeah, I'm back again. Hello. Yeah, so I'll keep you all updated. But I've read now, apparently in the areas, because boron is a mineral, all right, and I've said this before and I'll say it again, that the soil in a lot of countries have been depleted of key minerals in the soil. So where farmers have just, we've done industrial farming way before sort of 1910, 1920. Nothing natural really goes back into the land anymore to rejuvenate that land. And so if you think about that, okay, that the farming process has happened over 100 years now, and they turn over the land, it's quite understandable to think that the land is going to be depleted of the minerals that we need, because we came from the land. We are part of the earth as far as I'm concerned, and we're made up of all those minerals that come from the land. And so therefore what I found was that in places where they've got boron rich soil still, and one of them being Israel, for example, um, they've got very little arthritis. So to me, it makes sense. And like I said to you, I did some research, and Israel was one of them where they've got very, very little problems, where they've got any bone issues going in, any osteoarthritis, any arthritis, or any spondylitis or problems. But we in this country are one of the worst in terms of needing hip repairs, knee repairs. And I don't think that it needs to be that way. But again, they try and keep away a lot of natural remedies, and they will. I mean, when does anyone ever talk to you about boron? I bet you've never heard of it, or most of you've never heard of it. And again, it's just something that I've researched, and I'm going to start taking every day. And I'll let you know how I'm getting on with it. Let's see what's going on in the chat. Uh, let's have a look, Dan. Let me just put a little marker there. Um, du, 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 du. Oh yeah, so Amanda wanted to sell her cat. That's where we got to. Nubian. I took a walk to the urban farm, petting sheep and horses, feeding birds by a pond, sitting on a bench, doing crosswords. Great day for me. Good for you, Nubian. Bit of mental health and relaxation there, and exercise as well. Oh, Jimmy, what happened to your cat? Thought my cat died this morning. Had such a stressful day with her. Oh, you poor thing. Sorry to hear that, Jim. How is she now, mate? Yes, Chris. Pianos for pedos. Thank you very much. That's referring back to my picture of me and Laurel and Hardy. People talking about their cats here. Oh, it was Marley. It's not my Bella Paula. It's my little girl, Marley. Chris says, the way to live forever is to take a cutting of yourself and potting it on. I like that. That's very good. Yep. Very good. Yeah. How much blood is a 17-year-old going to give? I don't know, mate. I really know. It's just a weird story to me. It really was. Miss Blue Sky says, exactly, Rob. I never forget what my dad said. If you don't look after yourself, then it's not just about you. Others will have to look after you, and you don't want to be a burden on them. That's just so true, especially in this day and age where, we've got people that are being put in care homes and things. In this country, it's terrible, isn't it? And if ever there was a great example of don't put your folks in a care home, I think the lockdown was one of those, because of what were happening to people in those care homes. I'm not going to say it, but we all know what was happening to. Excuse me. We all know what was happening to those people in care homes. Rick says, "Is that what the troops were given to reduce sex drive?" No, that was bromide, Rick. Yeah, as Paula says here. Yeah, it makes your little fella go, or your big fella. Ah, here we go. As a coincidence, I have a recipe of borax solution jotted down. Never tried it myself. 1 teaspoon in 1 liter of water. Take 1 teaspoon of solution a day and 1 to 2 doses a day, and 3 tablespoons in the bath. I'm not going to say anything, Nubian, but that just might be something that I've got in my fridge there. So you've never tried it? Come on, join me, Nubian. Tony says, "No, I'm not going to say that." Yeah, I'll just put it up. There you go. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, almonds full of magnesium, Chris. Yeah, I love almonds. Um, as long as you don't have too many of them, I suppose. Paula says we are all little seeds growing our own way. Absolutely. Jimmy says, diagnosis at the vets. I think I got a reasonable diagnosis at the vets. It may be as simple as an infection. She's on 20-day course of antibiotics. Yeah, my partner's cat had to have, she had an eye infection, Jimmy. I'm not into vets, but when you need, you know, to, you know, to get some expert opinions, that's where you got to go. Um, and then they say, yeah, that's £80, please, for your consultation. You never see a poor vet or dentist. No. Yeah, Tony says you get bromide. They used to put bromide in. I think they used to put bromide in the Navy servicemen, didn't they, Tony, as well? I think they did. A lot of love going out for Jimmy and his pussycat. Oh, hello, Uni. Nice to see you. Yeah, it's just a random live show, Uni, that I'm doing because poor old Cookie's not very well. So he's not doing a show tonight. So I thought I'd just jump on and do a random live show and see if anyone wanted to join me, and we just have a little chat between us. Nice to see you. How are you? Uni's trying to get back into the chat, but he's not been managed to on Telegram. Talking of chat and everything, Jimmy did a live show on Saturday, but it looks like it got pulled down and it might have got a strike. We won't know what it's for, what the strike's for, because I don't think Jimmy's been handed the admin rights by Danielle yet. So until that happens, we wouldn't know. But Jimmy's got some other plans in hand. I'll tell you what he said on Telegram. Actually, let me just see what he says. What he said in Telegram. Um, where is it? Where is it? Let's have a look. So Jimmy's actually he's, if anyone wants to watch the show that Jimmy did, what I'll do is I'll you can follow this link. I'm going to copy the link and I'm just going to post it in the show here. So if anyone wants to watch it, because not everyone's on Telegram. So if you want to watch the show, you can watch it here at transfernow.net. So that's Saturday's show that he did. Jimmy says that he's been given. He might do a show this Saturday, but time willing, and if I can organise and get my servers set up, we may be able to take Raconteurs News off the major platforms and go full on autonomous. So there we go. He says, Raconteurs News is going to attempt to go autonomous. Server is configured. Video streaming service is running and seems stable on my very basic server setup. We're now able to stream direct from raconteursnews.com. Yeah, and I'll show you that in a second. Or .co.uk. I will post the link close to the date. We have all the bells and whistles, video streaming and chat. So it would be nice if we could get a few heads in for testing purposes and see if we can identify deficiencies in the configuration. So there you go. Jimmy, are you going to do that on Saturday? If you can just let us know, that'd be good. What I'll do is I think I've got the page up here. Yeah, there we go. Let me copy this as well and put it in the chat. There we go. This was set up before. I think Jimmy was working on this before. It does say in case of emergency, the raccoons can hang out here and get messages from Jason and any issues regarding YouTube channel getting nuked or any such natural disaster. Obviously, Jason's not available anymore. Yeah, that'll be changed. But yeah, this, I believe, is where Jimmy's going to stream, possibly. So let us know, Jim, if you can. That'd be great. Oh, so Tony sacked his Telegram account. No, not sure if it's Friday or Saturday night. This is from Jimmy. Yeah, Rob. But what I will do is put a notice up on the web page, which night. Obviously, a Telegram notice will go out as well. Okay, so there you are. So raconteursnews.com. Try and everyone remember that, or put it in your browser, and Jimmy might be doing a show. And again, if you haven't got Telegram, yeah, you'll find all the messages on there, or just try and go there Friday or Saturday, or between us, the community, we can all just share the messages, can't we? We can all just share it out and share where Jimmy will be. But it'd be good if you can do that. Jim, is there no reason why you don't want to go on to Rumble in the Jungle or anything, or Odyssey? I thought it was set up for that, like Steve and Pete and Cookie do. I don't know. Cheers, everyone. Right, let me just put a little star there, and we'll go back to some health news. Let's see if I've got anything else I want to share with you. Well, yeah, this is another incredible story, actually, that I'll share with you. Let me no, let's cancel that. So present, share screen. Yeah, here we go. Incredible moment. Paralyzed man walks for first time in 12 years after being fitted with a mind-reading implant. I mean, that is absolutely incredible. Look at him. Look. The incredible moment a paralyzed man was able to walk for the first time in 12 years has been caught on camera. Gert Jan, 40, suffered a spinal cord injury following a bicycle accident that left him paralyzed. But a new electronic implant has enabled him to regain control over his legs once again. The heartwarming footage shows Gert Jan standing, walking, even climbing stairs after being fitted with the implant. Grigory Courtine, a neuroscientist at the École Polytechnique Fédérale de Lausanne, who worked on the study, described the technology as a digital rebirth of the spinal cord. That is absolutely incredible, isn't it? It really is. Oh, here we go. Now there's me talking about vitamins. There we go. Let's click on this story. Let me just see if you can still see that story. Yeah, you can. Yeah. Yeah, there we are. Okay. Taking a multivitamin each day could boost memory and slash 3 years off your mental age. Volunteers competed competed thinking tests before taking a multivitamin or dummy pill. Those taking the multivitamins recalled zero point 0.7 words more than the previous year. Taking a multivitamin tablet could every day could slash 3 years from your mental age when it comes to memory. A study of more than 3,500 people over the age of 60 gave around half a daily multivitamin for a year, whilst the rest took a dummy pill, which could not have any health effects. The volunteers all completed tests of their thinking skills before the study started, and again a year later. Given a list of 20 words and asked to quickly type all those they could remember, people taking multivitamins recalled 7.81 words on average, just over 0.7 words more than they managed the previous year. Those given the dummy pills managed only 7.65 words on average, up 0.44 words on the previous years. Not amazing. Whilst the findings raise hopes that people on multivitamins or vitamins may be slightly better at remembering people's names after hearing them, more research is needed, as previous studies have shown mixed results on whether vitamins improve people's memories. The study authors estimate that people on multivitamins showed memories typical of someone 3 years younger based on their slight improvement in memory, which would normally have got worse over a year as they got older. However, the authors also admit that the effects were so small that people on multivitamins might see no noticeable difference in their memory. People taking vitamins also did no better in tests of their longer term memory, visual memory, or executive function, the kind of thinking which helps with decision making and organization. The senior author of the study from the Columbia University said, among older people, losing memory and cognitive abilities is a top health concern, and there are very few ways of addressing that. Our studies suggest that multivitamins may have a small but meaningful effect, although more research is needed. The study, which used multivitamins provided by drug company Pfizer, concludes that people on multivitamins showed memory benefits equivalent to around 3.1 years younger. This was worked out using the difference between memory test results in people taking vitamins and those taking dummy pills, over and above the expected decline in memory as people get older. It may work better for people with cardiovascular disease who may be more deficient in vitamins, as this group saw a stronger improvement in memory, further analysis found. But there was no significant improvement in memory in people taking vitamins in each of the 2 years after the first year, which suggests the supplements may have the biggest impact in a shorter time period. I think that, yeah, could also say that, you know, you might want to just be taking them more often. There was no significant link with longer term memory, which tested by asking people to recall about 20 lists of 20 words after a break of around 15 minutes. Some experts believe a lack of nutrients may cause small alterations in the brain, which supplementing those vitamins can prevent. Many experts say the best way to top up nutrients is through a varied and balanced diet. The study is published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition. Dr. Brickman said, though multivitamins are generally safe, people should always consult a physician before taking them, or consult a physician before listening to my advice. So there you go. What this study doesn't show is what they were taking and how much they were actually taking. And I think that's, quite key here, really. I mean, different vitamins from everything that I've read and studied, and has shown that, for example, fish oils are very good for the brain. And what it doesn't say is that were any of these people on other medications as well. So it's a bit of a vague thing, but at least it's not poo-pooing the whole taking vitamins anyway, which is good. Very, very interesting story there. Man with the biggest nose dies. Okay. Let's have a look. Some stuff about breast cancer there because someone allegedly famous got it. Yeah. Peter wants to compare harms of red meat to cigarettes in an ad demanding NHS hospitals go completely vegan, but charity can't find anyone willing to print its provocative claims. And there we go. Look, all animals have the same parts. And I'm sorry if you're a vegan and you don't agree to meat, but eating meat. But I think that eating meat is not that bad for you. But that's just my opinion. Number of Brits paying for medical treatment has risen by a third since Divok, as NHS drafts in private firms to help clear mammoth backlog. What a surprise. Around 272,000 Brits forked out the cash for ops such as hip and knee replacements and cataract surgery, up to 36.7% since 2019, according to the private healthcare information network. Well, what a surprise. They locked down all the hospitals and got behind with all the treatments, and now we have a problem. Plus, we have all those doctors deciding to go and move to Australia as well. And here's another story. Oh, here we are. Britain has more nurses than ever after a jump of 30,000 in a year, but regulator warns thousands are still quitting due to burnout. So there we go. An apple a day really does keep the doctor away. Fruit linked with 20% lower risk of telltale sign of old age. Shall we click onto that? Let's click onto that, shall we? Research suggests eating foods that contain certain dietary compounds, such as blackberries and apples, can lower your chances of becoming weak and delicate in older age. Known as flavonols, these have been linked to a variety of health benefits that are found in a range of fruit and vegetables. To investigate a possible link between flavonols and frailty, which affects 10% of adults over the age of 65, researchers analysed the diets of frailty status of 1,700 people for over 12 years. Over the study period, 13.2% of participants developed frailty. Analysis revealed that for every extra 10 milligrams of flavonols people ate per day, about the same amount as a medium-sized apple, the odds of developing frailty were reduced by 20%. That's quite significant, isn't it, really? One type of flavanol in particular, called quercetin, had the strongest link with frailty prevention, the team said. This is primarily found in the likes of apples, blackberries, citrus fruits, onions, parsley, and sage. There may be some validity to the old saying, an apple a day keeps the doctor or frailty away, the researchers said. higher quercetin intake was the flavonoid that had the strongest association with frailty prevention. This data suggests that there may be particular subclasses of flavonoids that have the most potential as a dietary strategy for frailty prevention. According to Age UK, frailty refers to a person's mental and physical resilience or their ability to bounce back and recover from events like illness and injury. Being frail means a relatively minor health problem such as urinary tract infection can have a severe long-term impact on someone's health and well-being. It's generally characterized by issues like reduced muscle strength, fatigue, and can affect up to 50% of people over the age of 85. Experts recommend regular exercise such as resistance and weight training to prevent and reduce frailty, as well as a healthy diet. The findings were published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition. There we go. And I'm back again, back into StreamYard again. Here I am again. Time for another drink. I'm going to open the chat up for anyone who fancies jumping on or not. Let me have a look. See what. See if we can have a look. Where did I put my little? There we go. So Jimmy says Rumble doesn't work, Rob. I don't have the stream key to update StreamYard. Okay, there we are. That's why Rumble doesn't work. Yeah, Jimmy says we're going to have to regroup and get away from the censorship. It's coming, isn't it? I don't expect this show to be able to. I mean, I've been lucky so far. I haven't had a strike, and touch wood, I won't get one. But I have to be very careful the way I talk about, especially medical issues. So yeah, it's not easy, really. Welcome to everyone who's watching the show. If you just joined us, this is a random live show that I've just decided to do in the last about 8 o'clock tonight. And if you're watching the playback, hello in the playback. And if you're not a subscriber, please subscribe and click on the thing that says get all notifications as well, the bell icon. And if you like the show, give me some thumbs up, please. Thank you very much. Right, let's have a look. Yeah, I see what you're saying, Tony. You know, it's a sympathy story, and again, it's that whole linking man and machine, isn't it? Thing, you know, and like they said, they put something in his head or something, you know, and yeah, you know, I mean, it's dreadful what's happened to him. I just think it's amazing for the man that at least he's got. But I mean, they're never going to give it to everyone, are they? Who can't walk? I mean, one of my son's friends is his mother got spinal cord injury. She can't walk or anything. She's in a wheelchair. Not got the greatest life, but is she ever going to get it? Is she ever going to get offered it? You know. And also, I'm sure that there's probably other methods they're working on as now. But again, you only get highlighted the stories they want you to get highlighted. Yeah, Tony made a good point there. I think God done a damn good job with all of us, amazingly beautiful people. We don't need to augment with God has blessed us with. A new being says, my grandma had help from a pacemaker during her last years. She was 95 when she died. Could wonder if she would have lived longer with proper nutrition. We just don't know, do we, new being? You know, we're all going to be the destinies of our of time, aren't we? You know, we all choose our own destiny, and how much. I mean, I was talking to someone the other day, and this chap, and he's, you know, he was saying to me, oh, so and so's just won £10,000. He does a bit of gambling. He's just won £10,000. And I turned around to him and I said, do you know what? I don't think I'd ever want to be rich. You know, I mean, and again, it makes you question. You know, it makes you philosophize about life, doesn't it? You know, what is rich? Is rich being, for me, rich is being healthy, because if you haven't got your health, and also rich is being loved. You know, we're in a community here, and there's a lot of love in this community, and I think that's a very rich thing, and it's a very rare thing nowadays. You know, people are so insular now, and you know, you don't see many people walking along the street that will want to interact with you. I'm fortunate enough that I live in a small town and I live by the river. And when I walk over to the shop, sometimes, you know, I have to walk past down a nice little part where the river is and the path, and we've got some lovely greenery. And occasionally, someone's walking past. They might be on their own or with a dog, and I'll always say hello. And 9 times out of 10, I'll always get a hello back. You know, the other day I was out and I was walking, and no, I went to the lake, the river with my partner, and she does some wild swimming. And whilst I was sitting there, chatting, you know, just watching her in the water, a guy came up with a dog, and you know, the dog looked, you know, it was I thought he looked a bit unusual. I said, "Oh, what breed is he?" And he said, he's a cockapoo. I went, "Oh, not another bloody cockapoo." And he was a really furry one. And then he started telling me about how poorly his dog had been. And I started talking to him about like natural things and saying, like, try giving the dog maybe some magnesium and things. And then just started chatting to this guy. And all of a sudden he said to me, he goes, "You know, you're the most decent conversation I've had in absolutely months, maybe years." He said, "Do you mind if I exchange numbers with you?" He said, "You know, you're a really interesting guy." And you know, I thought that was lovely. And I found him really interesting. And I did actually turn around to him and I said, we were talking about health and stuff. And I said, have you had the old jab? He went, "No." I went, "Ah." I said, "We've got something in common then." So yeah. But again, it was great to interact with someone. I mean, I haven't got lots of friends. You know, I consider the people here are friends, and you know, it's a bit of an odd situation when you're sitting here and you can see that people are chatting in the, you know, live, but you're getting some feedback, but there's no live chat. But I still consider it that it's a form of interaction that I feed off of, and I love that. And I, you know, if as long as there are people that are able to be chatting, and what I love about this is that I've set this up, and there's like at the moment there's 13 people in watching the show, and there's people interacting with each other, and it's a platform just to bring people together. It doesn't matter whether you're talking about what you had for dinner, or what your, you know, what your beliefs are in this particular subject or that particular subject. The fact is that it's bringing people together as a community, and I love that, and that's what I love about also my allotment. When I go to my allotment, I hardly know these people there, but I know I can go up to someone and say, what am I meant to, do with my garlic there? Am I meant to break that bit off at the top there before it flowers? Yeah, you're meant to do that. Oh, thanks for that tip. You know, stuff like that. And I love that. I love that about life is that we've still got that ability to be able to interact with one another. And, like Tony says, they're trying to merge machines with man, with humans. And what sort of interaction are we going to have then when someone's able to then control your body functions? And where does that end? Where do we go then with that? I mean, I think the thing I love about my life is that I feel very blessed that I've got I can think for myself, and that I can make my own decisions. And when things like the lockdown happened, that I did have that strength and that tenacity to say, no, I'm not going to do this, or I'm not going to do that, or I am going to go there, and do what I want. I am going to go and see my mum, even though she's a 40-minute drive away. And I remember, like today, for example, I listened to Richie Allen, and Richie Allen was saying on his show today that when he was in the lockdown, he goes running every day, and he was about a mile from his home at one point in the lockdown, and he was running around, and then suddenly this community police officer tried to stop him and said, "Excuse me, where are you going? What are you doing?" And he told him to piss off and mind your own fucking business. And I love that about us as a group, because I think most of us would be like that. Maybe not as rude as that, but I think a lot of us would like to be able to say stuff like that to certain people, wouldn't we? What's Kitty said here? Right. Kitty said here, Tony, we are who we are, and we don't need shit in our bodies. Knowing we know not to have things in our house, why have them in your body? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, and Tony saying about plastic surgery, says more about the insecurities of a person getting it done, vanity, narcissism, and self-loathing. But that's because that's what's promoted, isn't it? If I was to go to the front page of the Daily Snail or any newspaper, now it's all about you've got to be impressed by a celebrity doing this or a celebrity doing that, or this celebrity has had this surgery done or that surgery. I mean, look at Katie Price. I mean, the poor woman, she's just mentally gone as far as I'm concerned, just my opinion, but yeah. Chris says, back to the meat story. Don't eat meat and make yourself ill. Great idea. I've said this before. My brother's a vegetarian, and I don't think he eats fish either, actually. And he's not the healthiest man in the world. He really isn't. Okay, I'll just Miss Blue Sky. PETA is a see you next Tuesday. I firmly believe we were given livestock for a reason. Let's just appreciate that and eat it with a. Kendo had meat and potato pie for dinner with carrots and Brussels. Paul is saying Windy City. Okay, I don't know what that is. What that is? Oh, maybe one of the stories that I was talking about. The singularity of 2045, when man and machine merge. That's the whole RoboCop world, isn't it, Tony? Then throw AI into the pot, and who knows where this will lead us. I'm not. Yeah, I'm not convinced about singularity. It's like when we're having a conversation. Again, I heard another conversation the other night on a show I was listening to about, and it was a guy who'd written an article about AI, and it's like when you know you couldn't have a you can you you couldn't have an open conversation like we're having now. AI, I don't believe will ever, and AI is only whatever's been programmed into it. And can it self-learn? Well, maybe. And will it create other AI that could cause trouble? Possibly, but I don't think there's enough evidence for it. I think there's a lot of fear, and I think the fear again is put out there. And remember, they want us living in fear, don't they? They don't want us to be, um, just relaxed and happy. They want us to be fearful and constantly on guard. Uh, uh, Tony's going to shut up now. Don't you shut up, Tony. We love your views. Yeah, it's hilarious when the other person doesn't say hello back. So unbelievably rude. Yeah, when I was saying about hello to people. Yeah, it's true. Duh, 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 duh. So, Miss Blue Sky said, yes, Rob and guys, I know Jason isn't there anymore, but let's keep our raccoon telegram chat alive as it's hard to find like-minded, caring people and thoughtful, interesting conversations. It's interesting because not many people post on Telegram, and I know not everyone's on it, but I mean, the whole reason that Telegram was set up was to share stories and ideas. Like, for example, um, in today, Rick, I don't know if Rick's watching. It'd be great if he is watching, but never mind if he's not. Um, Rick shared a full interview of Mariana Spring of the BBC and Darren Nesbitt of the Light newspaper, which was been released. And I watched that, and it was brilliant. And yeah, it's stuff like that can be shared on Telegram. I mean, I probably wouldn't have known about that. And it was a really, really interesting interview. And he definitely had a few gotcha moments with Mariella Spring. She's the one who did the hit piece on Richard D. Hall. And yeah, he had her a few times, and she just didn't answer questions properly. She really didn't. But that's she's like a politician, though, isn't she? She's going to be like that. Um, Yeah, cheers, Tony. Tony says, "Well done, Robert. Sometimes the smallest interactions can have the biggest effect on direction of your lives." Yeah, just to smile even at someone. Even if you don't feel you can say hello, just give them a smile. You'd be surprised that they might even smile back. Uh, and Rich T says, "I think the powers that be underestimate the strength of the minds in the resistance." I agree with you, mate. Absolutely, absolutely. Hello, Nick GB. Hi, all. I'm late. We'll watch it tomorrow. Hope you're all well. Hello, Nick GB. Welcome. Uh, Everyone's saying hello to Nick. And Tony says they not realizing beauty. True beauty comes from within. The facade of makeup masks a totally insecure, impressionable young person to be abused and molded into a desired sex object required. Mariana in Conspiracy Land. Yes, Kendo, exactly. Yeah, Kendo says spring is a proper wrong 'un. Yeah. Oh, you're very spiritual, Tony. When I walk around, I recite my prayers. I have a set list that I say daily. Good for you, sir. Good for you. I've done an hour and a half of just waffling on. Let me just put the link in. See if anyone wants to join me in the chat. Whilst I just have a few sips of this. Anyone want to jump on and have a chat? Anyone know if Steve's doing the show tomorrow? I don't know if Steve's doing the show tomorrow, or whether he's not going to be doing one. But yeah, we just to update people who haven't been listening. We think that the Raccoons had a strike. Jimmy's show got a strike on Saturday, so he's going to try and go live maybe Friday or Saturday. So go into raconteursnews.com and you might get some updates. He might be able to go live there. Tony says, I might join the show for the orgy, but I'm not doing it live. I'm bashful. In case you don't know, we have an orgy. We have an after-show orgy. Everyone comes into. We can have up to 10 people in here, and everyone goes on their cameras, takes their clothes off, and start doing naughty things. So if you fancy that, join us for the after-show chat, which might be very soon. I'm sleepy. What dwarf are you? Spanish says. Yeah, so Tony's bashful. Spanish is sleepy. Kitty's going to pop into the after chat. Oh, Paula's happy. What one are you? What are you? The Seven Dwarfs. Paula's happy. I'll go to Winnie the Pooh. I'll be Tigger. I'll be bouncing along. Jimmy's here. You coming in, Jim? You want to go, Jim? You want to go live with me, or should I have to remove you? He's spinning around there. He's spinning around. Hang on, let me take him out again. I can't see you, Jim. So, Amanda says, thank you. Glad I tuned in. Had a bit of a crappy day. So your cheerful chat has cheered me up. I was grumpy. You're welcome, honey. You're absolutely welcome. We've got to try. So there you go. Rick's grumpy. Jimmy's gone. Jimmy was here and now he's disappeared. I see Jimmy is still using Windows 1917. No, Jimmy's on. He doesn't use Windows, does he? He does the other thing. What do they call it? I can't remember. He doesn't do Windows. Come on, Jim. Try again. Where are you? Let me see if I can give you another story before I go. Linux. Thanks, Nick. Thank you very much. Yeah, Linux Jimmy uses. Yeah, Linux. Let me have a look. See if there's any other newsworthy stories that I can bring you. That's a weird one. Key to longevity: breathe less oxygen. Study extends lifespans of mice by 50% by restricting intake of the gas. Scientists at Massachusetts, this has got to be a wind-up, hospital kept rodents at 11% oxygen, similar to Everest, or at ambient levels. Lower oxygen boosted lifespans by 50%. That is mad. That is absolutely mad. I mean, I've always thought that oxygen is something you really need myself. Come on. Is Jimmy back? Let's have a look. No, he's not back yet. Don't know what's happened to Jim. Let's just quickly share this story with you, and then I'll share this last story, and then I'll booger off. Let's have a look. Share screen. Many believe that restricting how much they eat or obsessive exercise can extend their lifespan. Scientists in Massachusetts General Hospital have now suggested a third way: take in less oxygen. In a study on mice, they found that rodents kept at 11% oxygen, equivalent to the base camp of Mount Everest, lived 50% longer than those kept at ambient levels. They said breathing in less oxygen could reduce damage to cells and prompt them to clear out and recycle damaged parts, slowing the aging process. It was not clear whether the study results could be replicated in humans, but previous papers have suggested that humans who live at higher altitudes live longer than their peers, but they are also at high risk for low birth weights and stunted growth, which scientists say may be driven by the lack of oxygen. Now that makes more sense. I think I know I'd rather. In the study, the first to examine oxygen restriction in mice, the researchers used rodents that had been bred to age rapidly. They were split into two groups at 4 weeks of age, with half staying at ambient oxygen levels, 21%, whilst the rest were placed in a chamber that drove the levels down to 11%. Each was offered adequate food and water, and scientists then monitored the mice until their deaths. Results showed that the mice living at ambient oxygen levels lived for a total of 15.7 weeks on average, but those who were exposed to restricted oxygen levels lived for nearly 8 weeks longer, with a lifespan of 23.6 weeks. Mice in both groups ate about the same amount of food. The results back up previous research, which also found that oxygen restrictions extends the lifespan of yeast, worms, and fruit flies. The researchers now hope to test oxygen restriction and longevity further to back up their findings, possibly in other animals. It was not clear how humans might be exposed to lower oxygen levels continuously to help extend their lifespan. But as well as spending several hours a day in a low oxygen chamber, the paper also pointed out how people who live at high altitudes live longer. Other papers have warned, however, that people born at these higher levels may have lower birth weights and stunted growth due to the lack of oxygen. Dr. Roger Roberts, a pulmonologist who led the study, told the dailymail.com it is premature to speculate on the implications of these findings for human aging. And it goes on. There we go. So there we go. Yeah, I thought it was interesting that they said that they had lower birth rates as well. So again, what do you want? Do you want to stop the link? Don't work. See above, Ninja. Okay. Well, why doesn't the link work? Okay, let me try again. I'll try again. Right. Copy. Jim got in. Well, he might have got in another way actually. Copied. Right. Okay. Yeah, Daily Foul, Nick. I know it's the Daily Foul, but there are sometimes going to be stories. Remember, they collaborate all the stories from around the internet, from different parts of the news media, and it's all in one area. That's one of the reasons why I do read the Daily Foul, but I take all those stories with a pinch of salt. Try that Spanish. See what you think. Paula says, Dr. Tarp, the link don't work. I don't know. I don't know why it's not working. Try it now. Jim did get in. Oh, there you are. Paula's in. So I'm not going to put Paula up on the thing because I know she won't want to go live. But there we are. Paula's in. So the link is working. If you want to jump in now, jump in because I'll probably finish the show now anyway. Yeah, and Jimmy's there as well. Okay, so Jimmy's there. Jim, do you want to go live or you just come in the after chat?
No, it's fine, mate. We can go on live.
Oh, okay. We'll have a quick chat. Cool.
Yeah. Sorry
Paula's
about that,
sitting
bro.
there.
I tried to join in a few minutes ago, and
I
had
know.
to
I don't
crash
know what happened. You were just going round and round.
I had to crash my system purposely because there was too much going on, basically, and I should have closed down one or two things before I jumped on, but I wasn't thinking.
Can you give us an update then on where you've got with raconteursnews.com?
Yeah, that's primarily why I wanted to join in, basically, and just let people know that it's probably just going to be a little bit of time before we can iron a few little bits and pieces out. Like, but basically, as Robert was saying earlier on, I did manage personally. I don't know what I said or anything at all. I managed to trigger probably another strike. I don't even know if we got a strike. I just assume we got a strike.
They've just pulled it, haven't they? They've. There's some things happen.
Yeah. And I thought I'd done quite well the last day by not hitting, but I was talking about a certain nurse, right?
Yeah,
And
you were, weren't you?
I was talking about a certain nurse, and maybe that didn't go down well because I don't think I was talking about anything else which was of relevance, really. So that's the only thing I can think of. So, but
Yeah.
anyway,
It
yeah,
doesn't matter. It's the fact is they've done it, and you're now trying to find another way because again, you haven't got the keys. Let's just remind everyone.
yeah.
You haven't got the keys to the StreamYard, the admin rights and things like that because Daniel hasn't got round to it, has she, yet to contact
Well,
you?
to be honest, I haven't been in touch with her because personally, I just feel I wouldn't like to intrude on her.
No,
I
and
mean,
she hasn't been in touch with you, so it's not
yeah, yeah.
it's not anyone's fault. No one's, and I don't blame you, Jim. I think
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
up to Danielle to contact you maybe because I think that
Well, no, look, we'll let the dust settle for a while.
yeah, that's what I mean. When she's ready,
she's had enough on her plate, like, to be
yeah, when
honest.
she's
And
ready, when she's ready,
yeah,
yeah,
and
absolutely,
but in the meantime, that doesn't mean that we cannot figure out a way forward. And I've figured out a way forward, and I do have access to the Raconteur's domain service, right? Because I was setting all this up in the background. So
yeah. I remember you
um,
doing it before.
yeah, so I actually have control of, well, I don't have control of the domain name, but I still have access to it. And I still got the login details and stuff like that. So
Yeah,
um, that means that, like, I can I have a server. I've been running a particular server for about 7 or 8 years now. And it does nothing basically, like, but it's kind of like a training environment for me where I can learn how to configure servers and stuff like that. But it does feck all. So I decided to install some streaming software, some open source streaming software during the week. I got it installed successfully. I have it configured. I've tested it personally once or twice, and it'd be nice just to get a few people in over the next maybe this. I think this Saturday, because I'm not going to be going too far with my cat not being very well. It was supposed to be a party that I was supposed to be going to on Saturday night, but I don't feel that I can go considering Marley's situation. So I'm going to need to be here. I'll assess the situation over the next day or two and see how she's doing. Because I went through an awful state today. I was in a panic. I thought I was going to be finding a corpse, and Turned out she's still alive anyway, so that's the main thing. So, but I can't make a decision whether I want to go to the party on Saturday night or not, considering the situation. So, but if I do decide to go to the party on Saturday night, if I feel that she is feeling okay, I'd love to go down and meet up with some old friends. I haven't seen them for about a year now, and I probably will go Friday night instead. You know, that sort of a
Okay.
way. That's why I don't know Friday or Saturday at the moment.
Yeah.
So,
Spanish
but
says, F the cat, get to the party.
yeah, if she was if she wasn't such a great worker, I'd probably agree with you Spanish, you know. But she's a great worker, so I couldn't do that to her, you know, and I'd be lost without her. So, but anyway, look, we'll see. There's a couple of days between now and then. So,
What was wrong with her, Jim? Do you know?
well, the diagnosis I got today was what the vet couldn't sort of like point anything in particular out. The only thing, because what was happening was, and it was the second time it happened this morning when I got up, and lately she got into the habit where she didn't want to be touched. I couldn't go near her, like, you know, I used to be able to go pick her up and put her out, go to the toilet, you little fucker, and do your business. Couldn't touch her lately. And she got into the habit of just jumping up before I even got near her, right, to put her out. And as she was running to the door to let her know, okay, I'm going, and she just plocked down on her side as if she were paralyzed this morning and couldn't
Wow.
move. And eventually she got her head together and she managed to sit up. And I left her alone because she looked like she was in shock. Like and this is the second time this happened in the last month and a half. But this morning was like it seemed like it was kind of like an extended episode, right? So, um, and then she ran and she hid and she was hiding all that. I couldn't find her all fucking day. And I didn't know where the fuck she was. So I eventually found her. And she didn't want to come out. But she's in good form. She's standing up now again. And what the vet thinks is going on is that there might be an inner ear infection,
Oh,
which
right.
is causing her to lose her balance. And it kind of makes a bit of sense. So that may be what's going on. So she's on a course of antibiotics. We'll do that before we go down the path of any blood tests and shit like that. So,
Yeah, then it starts getting costly, doesn't it?
well, yeah, well, it doesn't matter. Like, you know, it's the cost is irrelevant. Like, but still, though, like, let's rule out the infection first, and I think it's kind of logical. So I think that's what's going on with her. So that's the reason why I don't know what's going on this weekend, really. So between the party and Marley and blah, 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 chances are I probably won't go to the party anyway. I'll stay here with her, like, you know, and just make sure she's okay. And
Yeah.
then we'll go on Saturday night. And it'll
Yeah.
be at
Cool.
around 10 o'clock. And we just need a few people in just to test the stream. Don't flood the service, but it doesn't matter. Come if you feel come if you feel like
On
you're
Friday,
interested.
you mean?
Friday or Saturday, whichever night it is. Friday or
Yeah.
Saturday.
You're going to go to the
Um,
party Saturday, Jim?
I don't know. I don't know. I'm getting too old for parties anyway, Robert. I feel like I just don't have the energy anymore for them. You know.
Yeah, I know, but it's good to just to be able to mix with people and interact, you know, and just, you know, talk stuff you wouldn't normally talk and interact with people you wouldn't normally interact with. It's a healthy thing, man.
The last time that I went to one of their parties, and I found out like the majority of them were bloody poked, right? And I ended up getting really fucking ill. Oh shit! That's where my headspace is though these
Oh, I
days,
see.
right?
I understand. Yeah.
You know. So, but look, no, no, I'm away from that. Like, I just want to see. Maybe I need to be sensible this weekend, and I can't make a decision at the moment. So,
Yeah.
you know. But
Right. Well, Jim.
we need to test the stream though, and we'll see, because I might need to. I might figure out after a show that I might need to beef my server up a bit with extra RAM, extra extra disk space and stuff. There's a load of things to figure out, like, but at the moment I can stream and I just don't know how many I can handle for $5 a month, right? And so I don't know whether I need to be spending more or not. So we need some people in to test that and see how much more we need if it's needed, you know.
Okay. Well, I'm going to put the link of raconteursnews.com in again. And so anyone who's watching the show, if you want to put that in your in your www dot and just watch this, I mean we'll just post it in Telegram, won't we? And I suppose other people will get the message to other people as well. So
yeah. I mean, it's looking really snazzy. I mean, we've got video streaming, and we've got a chat area as well too, and you can sort of.
That's not live yet, is it? It's not live yet, that area.
It's already up and running. Yes, it's already running. But it's not live at the moment because I'm not streaming to it, obviously. So, but it's running. It's actually working, and the chat is kind of nice too because you can actually change your name and all sorts of stuff. It can do all sorts.
Let me share this, Jim. Is this it? Is this the one?
It won't be at the main page. No, it'll be. That's the Raconteur's site basically.
Yeah.
But what I'll do is I'm going to wipe that page. I'm going to put a link to where the stream will be happening, which is
right. I see.
Kind of like the actual stream will be it's on the same website but on a different port. So
okay.
I'll have to post a link with the port number.
If people go here, they'll be able to get the link.
Yeah, well, if you put in raconteursnews.com :8080, that's where the stream will be happening. :8080. Are you familiar with ports? How to use ports?
No. What's can you put the link in? Can you put the link in, Jim?
Yeah, I can actually. So if I put http :conteurs.com :8080. So that should be :8080. That should be where the stream will be streaming from. So that'll be around the 10 o'clock mark, whatever night it is.
Can you put that in? Can you share it?
I put it in already there, Roberts. raconteursnews.com :8080.
Oh, there it is. There. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me just there you go. If we go there now, does it look different to the one I showed?
Oh yeah. You'll just see a very, very basic page at the moment. It is up and running. Yeah, it is up and running at the moment. Yeah.
So then it's : :8080. Let me just try and see if I can do that. Where's colon? 80. Okay, so it's come up exactly the same.
Really?
Yeah, it's come up exactly the same. 8080 : :8080.
Oh, that's weird.
I think that's the same anyway.
Let's see. I'll just check here. It should still be open. It shouldn't be exactly the same. If I share my screen, I'll tell you what. If I share my screen,
you share your screen.
Yeah. Present. Share screen. Screen share. And just select window or screen. Say. Just go entire screen. And if I go over to here, that's what it looks like. That's what it looks like just at the moment. That's raconteursnews.com :8080. Up here is where the video will show, and the chat box is usually here to the right-hand side when the stream is live, obviously. So, it's just a very basic page. I'm just finding my way around it just at the moment, but that's what it looks like. So
is it because I put a / in, Jim, after .com?
No, there's no / in. It's just
raconteursnews.com. Right, hang on. Yeah, I got it. Yeah, got it now.
Yeah,
I got it. Yeah.
That's how you use a browser to. That's actually how you use a browser to. Now I'll just remove that now, and that's how you use a browser to access a specific port on a web server. So : 8080 or :22, whatever,
Cool.
whatever port you need to connect to on a web server. So that's how you do. That's how you use to connect different ports. So, but anyway, we'll probably refine that with time. I don't know. I don't know. There's no need to, like, once people get used to using it, it'll become second nature, like, so. And then we'll figure out what to do with YouTube. Maybe we'll try to use YouTube on a limited basis, just to help everybody to get to where we are now. Because at least on raconteursnews.com, we don't have to censor ourselves, right? And that's going to be the beautiful thing about this, is that we won't have to self-censor. We can just talk about what we want, and we don't have to worry about. And then we can post the pods maybe to Rumble or something like that, and we'll figure something
Spanish
out.
gone? He's disappeared. Right, I'm putting the link in again. There we go. And I'm going to end the show now anyway, at 1 hour 50. Thanks, everyone, for joining the random show tonight. Sorry it wasn't very exciting, but at least it brought the community together. Give the show a thumbs up if you liked it, and join us in the after show if you want to. There's Paula's here, Jimmy's here, I'm here, Kendo's here, Miss Blue, Nubian and Kitty. Anyone else who wants to join us, we've got room of up to 10 people. I'm sure Spanish will be in a second. Other than that, follow Jim's show. It'll be probably and tested on Friday or Saturday, and I'll be back probably next Tuesday, and we might have Cookie, or have we got Steve tomorrow, Jim?
Yeah, I was tuning to Steve last week. Yeah, he's back on. Check him out on Rumble, Steve Turgoose on Rumble and on Odyssey. So
And he's on
he's
tomorrow.
back. He's back to himself now. Yeah.
Okay, great. All right. Thanks, everyone. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you again very, very soon. All right. Bye for now. Thanks in the chat, everyone.